Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do an Indiegogo project called Red Eyes number one, let's say episode one, the Red Icon, made by Romero Comics and Games, made by David Feed, story and lettering, Christian Gudicelli art, Alessia Sagnotti design and colors, Maria R editorial, and Federica Valova colors. Now, David is a buddy of mine. I've known him for a while. This is coming from 2020, by the way, and I've read this book now for twice, the second time today. And he asked me, "Hey, Marinus, I want you to do a review of Red Eyes." The reason why I haven't done it because he's a buddy of mine, and I don't want to be biased because it's hard for me to read comics from people that put their heart and souls into certain projects, especially if they are buddies of mine, and then I have to talk about it. That's not an easy thing to do. But he says, you know what? I need the criticism. I need the feedback. Please do it. So that's what I did. And there's something to say about this comic in a positive and in a way that I think needs improvement. But to be fair, this is coming from 2021. He is already doing a campaign for volume 3 that I'm gonna leave a link in the description. And I'm gonna talk about that at the end of the video. So first of all, I'm gonna judge this, well, that sounds harsh, review this comic from what it is now or what it was then. So let's dive in. First of all, we have some sketches here, and I'm going to read some story dialogue. For centuries, the hunter people of Norhali or Norhale has been slaving for the overlords, the masked riders of Rehalia, searching for the legendary Red Icon, which is the biggest part of the story, I guess. According to folklore, it has fallen into the granite mines of Norhale. For the continued subservient labor, the Rehalian riders gifted them with 5 swords of obsidian fire. And we see this cool looking map, and we see a sunken ship, we see, the Kraken, we see a dragon, we see giants, we see kingdoms here. Very cool. 20 years ago, when Shraf II rose to the throne in Norhalai, a massive gravity storm shook the continent to its core and unearthed the legendary Red Icon. Shraf II, however, confided the mystical icon for himself, and he dared to play a dangerous game of deceit against the Rehalian masked riders. So, basically, this king did a power play, has believed the icon. He thinks that it's priceless, but don't know how to make it work. That's beyond his comprehension. And unfortunately for him, the masked riders of Rehalia has gotten word that the icon has been found. So the king says, Luthor, messages from Rehalia is coming. They want only one thing, the Red Icon. Never will we allow that. Quick, take it and head south. Avoid the main roads and kill any insurgents you find. Do not let no one get it. Do not let no one get it, Luthor. That's really weird how you write it. Yes, my king, Luthor. And he says, amen, take this. If things go crazy with those insurgents. Okay. There's some problems with the dialogue because nobody says amen in this particular world. Although it's a fantasy world, this is a little bit too close to home when it comes to dialogue. Then we see our heroes. These are the insurgents that these people are hunting. This looks cool. The problem that I have is that we have all the names of these guys and girls and animals, but they also have nicknames, that makes it a little bit more confusing. So not only do you have complete names, they have also, so we have Esler Ulan, who is Drunken Cat. We have Redu, it's called Mute Girl. We have Nirk, Meathead, etc., etc. That's a little bit too much, just There's a lot of characters already in there that people need or need not to remember. Gonna take a sip of my water here first. Sorry for that, it's pretty hot and I have a dry throat. So please leave that out of it. It's too much. I already have gave David some feedback about this, so he knows that. Meanwhile, in the forest of Fajan or Fajan, we see part of these insurgents or rebels. Particularly, I like the shot a lot. This is really cool. I like the angle. I like the colors in here. And this is a, before I forget, this is Rengel Wolfsfield the Wretched. He's a monster tamer, and with him is Redu the Mute Girl. She's a markswoman. Careful, she's not deaf. And they are being hunted. And this creature is dead now. So they are trying to run away because they are being hunted by a shapeshifter, and I believe these are hunters, but I'm not entirely sure. And they have a fight with each other. And it looks freaking awesome. But there's also a shift in tone when it comes to art. So you see this, and then we switch to this. Now again, this looks freaking cool. It's freaking awesome. But there's a huge shift in tone when it comes to the art. It seems that the artist says, okay, let's go all out and give everything I got. And then we go back to this, which is weird. Anyway, okay, so they are using their powers to defend themselves, but they also get, retaliate. Love this angle a lot. This is the mute girl. But then again, the shift in tone when it comes to art. So we have this creature, snake creature with skeleton face, with no lips, but then it has lips, and then it has not lips. Probably part of the whole shape-shifting thing. Again, there's a shift in tone that's not always good. So the battle rages on, and they do stuff. Let's leave it at that. And then this monster hunter is trying to escape, and it's going. It's just a dead tree that looks massive. Could work. I don't know what he means with that, but probably there's a safe area or something, I guess. And then he teleports a monster, and then it does something here that I don't know what it's doing. And this creature, the shapeshifter, is shocked by that and says, "Ah!" And as it gets, "Ah!" And so they are escaping, and the monster girl is turning back to her original human form. And this guy says, "Started you. Don't get me you're afraid of butterflies." Shut up. Of course not. Now, make sure they don't escape. But they did escape. Somehow. So the monster girls and this tracker or hunter lost track of these two people, and they are escaping, right? That's cool, I guess. I love the atmosphere of the book. There's a lot of nice backgrounds, not overly detailed, but I love the fact that there is some kind of with the lights. So we have front sharp in the back, but also some hazy stuff in the back. But you still can see what it is. It's still recognizable. I like that. It creates an atmosphere. Okay, moving on. So we go to our other heroes. Now, here's the part that is getting a little bit weird and convoluted. So they talk about that they have ambushed hunters, I guess, and they took something from it. Now they seek asylum, or they want to rest in some kind of a town. And then we see that the rebels are being hung here. So they're going into a bar, and they talk to this goat bar guy, and it seems that the hunters left the town, and that the mercenaries are in charge. And I'm coming back a little bit later to that. So what I like, again, is the atmosphere. We see the backgrounds, we see people laughing, we see people singing. So it's not really empty space and only talk, talk, talk. No, there's stuff happening in the background. And I must commend David for that, for inserting that, because for me, that's really important. I like to be immersed. I love to have atmosphere. I want to know what's going on in that world. Instead of, people are in the front and then we have some minimalistic space or nothing in the background. I want to be immersed, especially in a fantasy world. So the bar goat says that they are being watched. Basically, they already been found out that there's something wrong with them. So they are sitting down, and they talk about, again, stuff that happens that we don't see. Now, at some point, let's stop with what I'm trying to say, because let's move first a little bit towards the story, or to the end of the story. Then I'm gonna get back. I really love this shot. I gave David feedback. I love this so much because, again, atmosphere. We have seen these mercenaries going towards them, and they walk through I don't know, a hall or maybe part of the bar, and all the light is coming in, and it looks freaking awesome. I like that very much. I wish there was more detail on the costumes, etc. The reason why I'm saying that is the girl, this girl, and let's go back to. So this is, I believe, Camaleo Rayo, Black Typhoon, may have gravity power stone. Okay, 500 silverlings. Cool. They look a lot like each other when it comes to design, right? We have that thing on the head. We have a tiara. We have the same color scheme, and everything is a lot of brownish and reddish and blackish and goldenish, which is cool because they're in a bar, but still. That's why I like this so much, because it's a different shift in colors that breaks it all, this drab, weary, brownish colors, that drives it apart. This gives it another vibe, if you know what I mean. I lost the word what I'm trying to say, but it breaks it up. That's cool. So they've been found out, and she says, "Hey, you there? The town is on my jurisdiction. Give up your weapons to my assistant now." And then this guy says very carefully, "Your sword, please." And so this blonde guy says, "Touch my sword and rip your head off." So, and then the leader says, "Hey, stop it. Please excuse me, my man. We mean no trouble." And she says, "Yes, you better be not." She pointed a gun at him. And then he says, whoa, lady, what the? Don't point a gun at me. And she says, "How dare you ordering me around?" And she instantly snaps, which is really unfitting for a person that has a command position or a leader position. So I don't really understand this outburst. And then she says, "Seize their weapons." And this guy says, I'll take that sword now, if I may, sire." She said, "Don't you dare." So then one of the guards says, say something about the wizard girl. Let's call it that, because I cannot remember all these names. She says, "How come this hottie has no weapons?" So the leader, I don't know who is she, by the way. I have no idea. Let's call them again. They are not hunters; they are mercenaries. Jesus Christ! So this mercenary hunter woman says, "You are not even half the woman I am. I'm intelligent, ruthless, and beautiful." Well, if you say stuff like that to yourself, is that really true? But again, I don't mind if people saying that. That's all opinions, man. And so stuff is happening, and but basically she bait him in to say something that is important to her. She says, Your clothing what bugs you, not the fact that I just called you an insurgent. So basically, she is reaffirming that they actually are insurgents, and therefore that they are criminals. Therefore, they need to be put to death, to die, to be hanged. So you're not a slut, but certainly a rebel. Okay? And they never learn. Hang them next to the others. Let there be a warning sign to all of it. So yeah, okay, they've been tricked. And so this guy says, the leader guy of the rebel group says, that was really you ordering those hangings? And she says, yeah, and what if? And he's getting pissed off. And I say, hang them! And they are, this whole scene takes a little bit too much space, and it goes on a little bit too long. And he says, you mercenaries, for the hunters, you should be hanging. He says, shut up. And then they try to make a move. And then shit hits the fan. So they're having a fight. And this guy throws a, what is it? A knife? Big knife. And she's being hit in the eye, and he says, kill them. And then she is doing stuff, this magic girl that looks almost like this woman, but she's not. Again, shift in tone, shift in color, shift in how they look. There needs to be more, they needs to be more extinguishable, different from each other. That's what I'm trying to say. So the fight is nice, and the good guys are not always smart or winning, because this guy is ducking and he punches him in away. That's cool. So these rebels are the rebels are the good guys, I think. The bad guys are not as dumb as you think, and they are not that incompetent. I like that. So again, the fight goes on, and the leader guy says, oh boy, you are just one impetuous spoiled brat. And I don't get why he's saying that, but there's a reason for that, and I'm going to explain it to you a little bit later. So normally I would go over the dialogue a lot, talking about what they are doing, what the story is about, but that's the whole problem of this book. The story is so, for me, convoluted that I can tell you what it's all about, but now I have read it for the second time, and to be honest, I still don't know what's going on. So it's hard for me to explain it to you if I do not know what's going on. The reason for that is that there's too much stuff crammed in here. Again, I'm going to explain later. So the fight is going to continue. So he says, all right, let's dance, big guy. And so she using her mojo, and then this happens. And I love this particular scene. That he's, I don't know, being disintegrated or being blown up. And he's being, but she survived, and she says, what happened? Am I alive? That was a gravitational wave, man. Crap, that the Mercian girl has gravity stone. She turned out to be a typhoon. We had no chance. We have no chance. And it says, again. And here again, Yeah, so there's an overuse of certain words, and I don't like the lettering as well. The lettering is not really that good, but I can overlook certain parts of this things that is not good, because I know how hard it is to make a comic from experience. I know how hard it is to have a good artist and a good writer and or even a good letterer, because it costs a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of money for the very first time, and you try to make a comic to tell your story, of course, you cannot have top level artists, so I get that. So I don't mind, seeing indie artists doing stuff like this at all, because I've been there. Moving on a little bit. So this whole smear of blood. So basically they are winning, and she says, he says, basically she's threatening still. She said, wait until the hunters will find out what you are doing. He says, Maybe don't go hanging people left and right, and you're not that important for the hunters. Okay? And this guy says, yeah, we show the mercenaries. Nice. So they are sitting down and they talk about the thingamajig again, meaning the thingamajig about the red icon. So they have been in possession a red icon. It cannot be broken or something. And they snatched it away from the hunters. Now, if you're still following me or not, I don't blame you. I lost the plot. I totally lost the plot because the flow of the words, the flow of the story is not that cohesive. He says something strange. No way, word of our ambush caught here before we did. So Blondie says, yes, and the hunters had Nefarian monsters and one of them are shapeshifters. You're right, they don't hire locusts nor venture into unconquered Faerin. Faerin is probably the land. Why would they do that? And so basically they are ordering, that's really a strange thing, the bar guy to lock these people away. So they say take a couple of guys and just lock them up. But why don't you do that yourself? I mean, these are trained mercenaries and the bar guy and a couple of other guys are not, why don't you do it yourself? They could easily escape. They could easily, I think, overthrow them. These are just guys from the street, drunken guys probably, or women. I don't know. It sounds weird. And so he talks about this Rehalian bag has Normanjali seal. Since when are masked riders and hunters working together? Okay, so my first question, coming back to the story, first of all, we don't see the hunters. Probably the hunters were the shapeshifters, I guess, but it's not really good explained. And why do the hunters need mercenaries? I really don't get that. And that's what I mean. There's too much in there. Who are the hunters? Who are the mercenaries? Why are the mercenaries working for the hunters, right? What is the red icon? What are they, you know what I mean? What are they want to do with it? Why is that important? Now, I don't need to have all the answers, but if you are throwing so much at me, I need to know certain things. So why don't you put out the mercenaries and insert the hunters? So, meaning, we have too much factions. We have the hunters, we have the rebels, we have the mercenaries, we have the insurgents, who are the rebels, make it more confusing. We have people with a lot of names that has also nicknames. We have a question about masked riders working together with hunters. Then he talks about he asked the bar owner, do I have to do the job of your puppet mayor? What is the puppet mayor? Who is that? Take some people and give the insurgents some burial. Wait a minute. I thought they were the insurgents, but that's not the case. So that means the mercenaries and the hunters are the insurgents. Again, like I said, I have no idea who is. Who are the bad guys? Who are the good guys? I have no clue. And I'm skipping a lot now because I don't know what the plot is anymore. So basically, we have these other guys that came from the swamp. I'm going to skip this guys, and they talk about red eyes. I don't know what red eyes is. Is that to do with the red icon? I don't know. Then the leader guy, they are all now together, right? So they are in this whole group here. They are together. They talk about the plan, what they are going to do, and then the leader guy says, "Oh boy, Master Kionde must have a real high opinion of my mentoring skills because these people are all over the place." So I thought to myself, who is Master Kionde? Again, another character that I don't know. And then this guy, he says, speaking of him, I can contact Dad no matter what. And he reaches with his, doing the Professor X thing. Is this guy has psychic powers or mental powers? I don't know. Because he says, I can contact them. Contact with what? What are you doing? And who is that? But okay, it explains here that he says, did you just say what I think I heard? What counts here is loyalty to the group. His name for you is General of the Free People of Faerin, Master Kionde. So basically, this guy is the son of Faerin, Master of Master Kionde. Okay, but who is Master Kionde? You know what I'm saying? There's so much in here. Now, I'm going back to the premise, and I'm going to read the premise. Faerin Fair, that is this guy, son of the general, has led a privileged life until his ambitions cost him a death sentence. Facing death for his sins, I don't know what his sins are, but okay, no matter. He's drafted into a mission of penance, probably with this group of people. Faerin will learn and come back victorious or find a hero's death for the glory of the insurrection. Okay, but that doesn't tell me anything. Because if the Master Kionde is the general, but who is the general? And what importance does that have to the story? I'm completely lost. I know completely lost. So these guys are finding their revenge. The shapeshifter guy and girl and hunters are meeting with Lufer. Lufer is the guy from the beginning, and they are hunting for the red thingamajig. And he says, lucky those rebels, those ignorant rebels have no idea what they stole from us. They won't live long enough to figure it out. I personally make sure of it. Okay, cool. Then there's some errors in here. It says, and Ferdinande, my dear killing machine, never ever fail me again, understood? But then it says exactly the same here. This is the same sentence, same dialogue. So that must be an error. Okay, cool. And they, I don't know, they're talking about revenge and killing them and finding them and then going into the next mission. Okay, so overall, because I really want to stop now because I don't know what to say anymore. And you know what's also the worst part? This beautiful looking piece of art should be here. This should be on the back. Now, don't get me wrong. I like this. I like this a lot. But this is way better. But, okay. So what do I like? I do like the atmosphere. I do like the world building. I find the characters interesting. I do like some part of the art and angles, right? So like, for instance, this here I like this a lot. It looks really cool. I like, of course, this one is pretty cool. I hope David is going to do that in the other comics as well. I don't like the drab colors, some part of the designs. The story is very, very, very convoluted for me. Like I said, I have no clue what's going on, what they are. I know they have in possession some kind of a stone, and these people want to have it back. But I don't know why the hunters have that stone. I don't know how these rebels are getting, get into the possession of the stone. They talk about that they are ambushed a certain group of hunters, but we don't see that, right? And you don't have to see that, but since it's a big part of the plot, I would have liked to know how it happened and what is the importance of the stone, instead of, oh, by the way, here's a dialogue, and I talk about, we ambushed some guys, and now we have the stone. Right? And then you still talk about the stone and other things that I don't understand because I haven't seen it. Now, you don't have to show everything. You can figure it out by certain kind of dialogue, but it depends how you deliver it. You can do visual storytelling, but we don't see it happen, so there's no visual storytelling for me here to grasp the whole story. Stuff like that. So there's a hit and miss in here. So this book is not fun for me to read, but I like the world building. I like the atmosphere. There's a lot of atmosphere here. I like that a lot. That being said, Red Eyes 2, especially Red Eyes 3 and 4 that is coming, David stepped up a lot. He got another artist, and it looks freaking awesome. And I'm going to leave that link in the description as well while uploading this video. And yeah, this although I don't like this, I read the second story, and I'm going to talk about that as well in a later date. But trust me, although this is maybe not his best work, he has grown a lot. So, and even though I'm not sure what issue 3 is going to be, that's why he asked me to give him my opinion, and I did, not only in this video but also private. So he can only get better, and I really looking forward to how he's going to develop. So yeah, guys, Red Eyes, Indiegogo project. Tell me what you like and what you don't like. Am I a bit too harsh, or maybe I'm on point? You tell me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.